Hello and welcome to Friday Night Fashion. I'm Amanda Wakeley.
I'm Jo Elvin. Hello.
And it is Ms. Elvin's birthday.
No, we're not having birthdays anymore.
Yes, we are. What are we doing?
Oh, thank you. I am going
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I'm going to see my friend Donna Ida in Devon in her ridiculous mansion. Well, if I say ridiculous, I mean because it's so big, but it's beautiful.
And is it going to be a big old house party?
I think she might have forgotten it's my birthday. It's just a coincidence that I'm going on my birthday.
So if I
turn
send
up with
her
this,
a little screenshot saying, by the way, it's Jo's birthday on Friday.
Yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to it. It's another year, another turn around the sun.
Are you a celebrator of birthdays?
Yeah, generally. Yeah,
because I'm not. I'm not in denial in any shape or form. I couldn't give a shit about my age, but I'm not one of those people that goes, "It's my birthday."
I don't know. Sometimes I mean, the other day Ross asked me what I want for my birthday, and I don't really want anything. But if there's a cake,
so what did you say?
I won't complain. Yeah.
What did you say?
I said nothing.
Oh, yeah. You are a good wife,
aren't I?
Yeah.
Well, he always says I'm a bad wife and not in a good way.
Yeah. I love it. Anyhow, Jo's off for a birthday weekend. Happy birthday! And we have been perusing what the stars wore on the red carpet for the BAFTAs, and I would say it was an exceptionally well-dressed BAFTAs.
It was pretty glam.
Yeah.
I have some notes.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
On the whole, I think it was spectacular actually, and it's nice because we don't know what tone the Oscars will bring in the wake of the Los Angeles fires. So perhaps everybody felt a little bit more free to really go for it.
That's how it felt. Although I have to say there was a lot of black on the red carpet, which actually felt very beautiful, very demure, some spectacular silhouettes and some clever textures going on there.
You're looking very demure in your old black.
Well, I'm putting my tux on in honour of the BAFTAs.
Sorry, I didn't get the dress code. Yeah, I was just hearing my little bomber. Yeah.
Well, looking pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
Looking pretty good. She's looking spring. I'm looking particularly winter. It's freezing. But on the black note, I picked out, I think, probably one of my big favourites was Zoe Saldana in Saint Laurent.
It's pretty chic. I'm a big fan of hers.
I'm a big fan of hers, and I remember dressing her years and years and years ago. It must have been, 2009 or 2010. So it was.
Do you know what it was for?
It may have been the Oscars, I think, and she wore an ombre draped chiffon gown of mine with a leather belt, and she looked sensational in it. We'll pull up a picture of that because she really did look gorgeous in it. But I have to say, I'm not going to try and compete with Saint Laurent, whose blazer I'm wearing, but tux, I should say. But I love this.
I love the sort of like the capey,
yes,
chiffony. Is it chiffon or?
Some sort of tulle, I think, sort of lace and tulle, or it might just be. Yeah, it is lace and tulle. God, HD photography is just brilliant, isn't it?
Unless it's zeroing in on my face.
Right, exactly.
No,
we won't be doing that today, or mine. But it's this just. It feels like she's just sort of haloed.
It's quite regal.
Yeah.
2009 was the year that Zoe Saldana slightly saved my bacon.
Oh, and how?
Glamour Women of the Year Awards. Some of you may have seen on YouTube a spectacular onstage row between James Corden and Sir Patrick Stewart, which went down in history at the time. And Zoe was the one who had to follow that because Patrick Stewart was giving her an award.
Yeah.
And it was so ugly, they had sucked all the oxygen out of the room and she put it back in with like the most delicious quip, and it was just, so she's always, whenever I see her, I always think of that.
Fabulous.
So yeah, and she's pretty fab. And if you haven't seen Amelia Perez, do so. It's amazing actually. I know it's had some very mixed, controversial press because of some of the things that the star has said on old tweets, but the film itself is pretty amazing. So,
I haven't seen it yet, hands up. But I did we watched Conclave the other night.
Oh, love
which
Conclave.
I thought was fascinating.
It's
brilliant. And what's weird is the Pope being seriously ill in hospital right now, and you sort of feel like, God, is this about to happen?
Another white smoke moment. It's fascinating, isn't it? But it was also really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought those sets were spectacular.
And
where was that shot?
Oh, God knows.
Yeah. I mean, I found
Don't ask
myself
me for facts.
wondering how much of it was shot on location somewhere or how much of that was in a studio.
Yeah, I don't know.
And all those bedrooms with all those sort of marbled walls and floors, and I thought,
and the costumes.
Is that the real thing? Is it Korean or is
Yeah.
it a real thing?
But then my daughter's just absolutely, her favourite scene is when one of the priests just takes a big old drag on his vape.
Yeah.
In a very sort of like a bitchy
sexual
way.
way.
It's really good. So yes, enjoy Conclave as well.
Yeah. Coming back to fashion, which is why we're here, Selena Gomez in Schiaparelli.
I think this is my number 2 favourite.
Well, I did order them in my order of favourites. Well, at least it's top row.
Yeah.
I love what Daniel Roseberry's doing at Schiaparelli. I think it's just genius, and I love this contrast of black velvet, plunging neckline, and then this beautiful embellishment.
And sometimes Schiaparelli is sort of on the very playful, dare I say it, silly side, but this was just pure elegance.
Yeah.
And
pure Hollywood glamour, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I actually love the way that her hair is swept back, so the focus is absolutely on her face. These beautiful, beautiful diamonds all over wrists, hands,
and she left the neckline well alone, which I really love. I think that's a nice touch.
I love that because you've got those embellished straps going up.
Yeah,
it would have been too much. So I think pretty flawless, I have to say.
Yep.
Going on too.
Okay, so here's where we will part company.
Right.
I don't like Saoirse Ronan's look.
Don't you?
No, I think it's I think there's too much of it, and I feel like it's a bit almost duvet-ish.
Interesting. I thought the colour, she's wearing mint green Louis Vuitton. So interesting, I think Vuitton are doing a lot of custom gowns for the red carpets. Very, very clever. I mean, you don't think of Vuitton as a couture house, like you do Saint Laurent, Schiaparelli, Chanel. They're not a couture house, and yet they are doing custom gowns to really grab the headlines, I would say, on the red carpet and raise awareness.
Yeah.
They need raising awareness, but I love the modernity of this, the modernity of the cutting.
Okay.
And the cleverness of that Duchess satin cape, coat, whatever you want to call it, that so you've got that beautiful contrast of textures between the matte and the shine, and that sort of almost origami-esque effect of the coat.
Yeah, I wonder if I've just got a bit of a personal issue with Duchess satin, actually. I never really like it. It always looks heavy and a bit uncomfortable to me. I understand why you, with the designer's eye, have pulled out it, but it's just
very
not my
sculptural.
Favorite. Yeah.
And I love the way that it does contrast with the matte of the crepe of the gown. And you've got that tiny little bit of side boob, but not too much. It's nothing overt. It's sort of demure and very beautiful. And then I just love the hair swept back and that red lip.
Yeah, she's stunning.
Yeah. I sort of wish that we had a bit of a blank screen behind these girls instead of all the EE, BAFTA logos pinging everywhere, because it's slightly distracting.
Have you ever had to get a sponsor for an event, Amanda?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, EE, good job. Your little logos are everywhere.
And they're not very nice. Unless you want to put them on our podcast.
Yes, EE, that's a really good idea. Yeah.
I think we might have screwed that one up. E for Elvin. Yeah.
But what's the other E for?
Egypt. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, Egypt and Elvin.
Egypt, Elvin. Yeah. This is my number 1.
Is it?
Oh,
talk to me about
it. Just heavenly, show-stopping Demi Moore in McQueen. I'm in awe of how much time it would have taken to put this beautiful dress together, and I would love to know how much it weighs to wear.
I was just about to say that, because there's a lot of crystals in there, but there's also, I think, a lot of sequins. Well, sequins are light, crystals are heavy.
I wonder if she'll get to keep it, or do you think that's going to go straight in as a museum piece somewhere?
I think that would go straight into an archive.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful, and that sort of quirky cutting at the back of the gown that just gives it that twist. So it takes what looks like quite a classic gown from the front in terms of silhouette to being quirky and modern and cool.
If you follow her on Instagram and you saw her doing lots of reels and videos, every which way she turned, it sort of like shimmered another way, and it was like, oh.
And apparently inspired by stained glass windows,
Yes.
and you can really, really see that.
And I love a stained glass window.
I mean, it's sort of light shimmering through a window.
Beautiful.
Just brilliant. It's always, to me, it's always fascinating as to where inspiration comes from with a collection, and how direct that reference is or not, and that's just exquisite.
Yep.
I pulled out Naomi Aki in Versace just because it is quintessentially Versace. The chainmail, it's absolutely glorious the way it sort of glides over her body, and then this beautiful embellished strap.
You would just feel like a goddess in that, wouldn't you?
That's, that's a proper awards ceremony gown. It's very, very simple, but it's absolutely flawless, as is her body in it. And again, I love this sort of very clean hair.
There was a lot of that going on, wasn't there?
A lot of that going on. And we can't really see it from this picture, but I think very beautiful ear adornment.
Yep.
Over to you.
Ariana Grande. Now, this is one of your picks. It would not have been one of mine. Here we are with the bloody satin again. And
it's taffeta.
Oh, same thing. But it's just too much for me. And I don't know. I just think she's looking more and more childlike. I find it quite difficult, actually.
I hear you on that front, because she is so petite.
And I don't like commenting on women's bodies, but I just feel like, I don't know, she just looks like a child.
Yes.
And there's a lot of fabric going on there.
I'm looking at the gown. I hear you about the child. And I also find on that front the sort of it's almost like an 8-year-old child posing to be a dancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that sort of image that I'm getting. I'm going to focus on the gown for a second, which I thought was exquisite. Again, this sort of black velvet contrasting with this time taffeta, and it's just crazy overload of volume.
Yeah.
And actually, that is not one of my favorite colors, this sort of peachy color, but on her skin tone looks exquisite, I have to say.
They've really gone down that road, haven't they, with those really like overly muted tones.
Yep.
That's 2 Louis Vuittons that you have liked that I haven't. Sorry.
Ooh. Well, then let's move on to your favorite, Armani Privé.
Always. It's very mermaid-esque, isn't it? It's beautiful. Monica Barbaro in that sort of like just really simple but form-fitting goddess kind of a vibe.
It's classic Hollywood red carpet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this was, I think it was the finale look, or one of the finale looks from the Armani Privé show. And apparently Monica had seen it, had been to the runway show, and just fallen in love with it.
And you would. I love the colours.
Yeah. I may or may not be accurate there, so forgive me if I'm not. Kelly Rutherford.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there, but because it's black and because there's different textures going on, I thought rather interesting. But then I have seen another picture that she's missing a whole section of the skirt of the gown.
Ah.
And you see black hosiery and a black shoe.
Oh, no.
Which I didn't love,
oh, no.
actually. No. I prefer it as this a lot going on gown.
I think I would have preferred it. I like it. There's a lot going on. There's on her left, our right. I just think that's just a touch too far. If you'd had that fan detail going across the front as the hero piece of it, I would have preferred it more.
Becoming a designer.
Maybe. Yeah.
Hannah Dodd in Simone Rocha. I'm really, for me to see a British designer at a British awards ceremony, fantastic. Love that.
It doesn't happen that often, does it?
Really doesn't.
Yeah.
And that to me isn't sort of super typical Simone Rocha, because I often think of Simone Rocha as sort of massive volume.
And more novel.
Yeah.
Sort of like big roses on things.
Yeah. But I think it's lovely to see embellishment handled in a very modern, quirky, cool way. And I just felt that Hannah looked really modern and cool.
And it's the kind of dress that you would put on and nobody's going to be wearing anything quite like it. So you don't have to worry about that. And it's original and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, talking about original, Celia Imrie, not in an original gown at all, but looking fabulous.
She is looking great, actually, isn't she? I love the hair. I love the makeup, the just enough jewels.
Just enough jewels.
Yeah.
That is a stonker of a necklace.
I know, but that's all you need. Actually, I quite like her.
And the earrings.
Sort of like Herculean wing or whatever it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the spirit of her on the red carpet. I don't know if you noticed, but she was winking and smiling and just
because she knows she's got it going on.
And I thought, good on you.
I want those cheekbones when I'm Celia's age.
Oh, I know. We've got to do our facial exercises.
Not happening.
You know,
quite.
The Trini one.
Let's not do it for the viewers.
I don't do it actually.
Sorry, you're trying to like eat or something.
You didn't need to see that. No. Anyhow, scrolling right along.
I love Vanessa Williams's look. I think that colour on her is spectacular.
Yeah.
I can really see you in this.
Yeah. Oh, what, me?
Yeah.
Really?
It's the kind of colour that you really like.
I love that quirky green. That's
beautiful volume, but you can still see the hints of skin through it, so it's really sexy. I think she looks incredible.
Oh, Elvin's dressing me now.
You would look great in that.
Oh, thank you.
Hair piled up. Why not?
Not great with hair piled up.
But you always look really good as well in like a really sleek pony.
Haven't done that for a while.
Yeah.
Next week.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yes. You always know I haven't had a blow dry when my hair
but it looks really good.
Actually, I quite like it with a red lip.
Nice. It's like, you know.
Do you do a red lip ever?
Oh, God, I look like the bloody Joker with a red lip.
Do you?
Oh. Or Robert Smith in The Cure.
Oh, stop it.
I do.
Why?
I try it on and I take it off every time. I'll do if we ever
Actually, it's the worst thing to take off.
If we do a beauty thing, I'll do it and I will prove to you all that Elvin and red lipstick.
I think we should do a beauty thing. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Now, Letitia Wright in Prada, I thought this was really chic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And what I love is that sort of hint of embellishment under this sort of cowl back. And the whole carving out of the side of the dress on her physique, figure, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what's PC now, but she looked gorgeous. And I love her corn braids.
Yeah, she looks great. I love that cape.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's really clever.
It's sort of a cowl, but all the embellishment inside.
It's so cool.
And I remember when Thierry Mugler did that. God, it was years and years and years ago, I think for Lanvin. And it was absolutely the cleverest, most beautiful.
It's like a geode, isn't it? It's like you crack it open.
It is.
It's really
and I
gorgeous.
think that colour on her, absolutely gorgeous.
Speaking of red, it's like red is always one of my favourite colours. And did you see Emma Stone rocking it again? She wore something similar to another award ceremony, but she had it was this sort of like sheath that had these massive big peplum pockets that she then later stuffed with popcorn. And it looked, she's just so chic. I'm sure this was on at BAFTAs.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Maybe that was the Saturday Night Live. It was the SNL. Forgive me, there's too many events. It was the SNL 50th anniversary special. So have a look at that. It was quite something.
That is clever.
Yeah.
That is clever. Should we go to a couple of men?
Let's do it. We like the men. This is one of my nearly 20-year-old daughter's guilty crushes is old Jeremy Strong.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say one of my guilty crushes.
Is he one of yours?
No, one of yours.
No, he's not.
He's a brilliant, brilliant actor.
And a great dresser.
Yeah.
You remember I loved his mint green when Amanda wasn't really here for it at the Met Gala. But I just think it's classic, but he just wears it well, doesn't he? And he's got the salt and pepper sides that my husband's got. So I suppose I do quite like him a little bit.
Yeah. I just love the coat over the tux. Really, really chic.
Really cool.
Now, taking the shirt out of the equation, we've got James McAvoy. I'm sort of liking it.
I like it a lot. I love that
the brooch,
the embellishment. Is it a brooch? Is it a clasp?
I don't know.
Is there any difference between a brooch and a clasp? I don't know at this point.
Who knows?
Is it like?
And I don't know who this is by.
Oh, it looks like a charm as well. It looks like a little rainbow sort of a thing. Yeah, that's really cool.
Actually, I think that's a brooch. We should find out.
It's elegant, and it's sort of like I've got to be a guy. I've got to wear a bloody black suit and blend in with everybody else. Oh, I know. Done.
I mean, I think it's interesting how the jewelry companies and the watch companies are targeting the men.
Yeah,
too.
And why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. I think there's a lot of men out there who would like to dress up more. But there's almost a bit of it's breaking down, but there's always been a taboo that you shouldn't be all fancy and glittery. And then along comes Coleman Domingo.
Yes.
I adore this man, and he always looks incredible.
Yeah.
And of course he's wearing Versace, and it's a classic Versace motif. Again, that's sort of like that lining.
I love the lining in the coat, and then that sort of mimics into his shirt. And then we've got Adrien Brody. He's brilliant.
He is, in my opinion, violently handsome. And he's just killing me now by also wearing J. Crew. He's a J. Crew guy. I love him.
But he's now dating Georgina Chapman.
I know, and that's a significant upgrade for Georgina from Harvey Weinstein, isn't it?
We won't even go there.
So well done, girl. Yeah. Well done. I'm
hope you're happy.
I'm envious. I'll just say it. Yeah.
I'm sad to finish on a negative note, but we're not finished yet. But I think there were a few uh-ohs.
I like the idea of you going to like the BAFTAs or the Oscars and just going around to people going, I used to be terrified that that's what would happen when I sat front row in a show. People just waited until they got back in the car and said about you.
There were a few. Not masses, but a few. I mean, AJ, a doo-doo.
It's a strange one, isn't it? Do you know what it reminds me of? Does anyone remember Kylie Minogue?
It is totally Kylie.
Is it the same designer?
I don't know, but it's a proper
It's just a bit more panto than glamour.
Yep.
I think.
And talking panto, I thought Gwendolyn, someone who I generally love, and she generally wears her boyfriend Giles Deacon.
Is this Giles?
I don't know.
Right, okay.
I don't know, and we couldn't find it anywhere. But she's such a beautiful woman.
There's just a lot, isn't there?
It's a little bit Halloween-y for me. It's a lot Halloween-y for me.
It's a bit sort of structureless to the point of a bit jumbly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't like Isabella. I like Isabella's Dolce.
It's too dressing gowny for me.
Oh.
It really, I get why you would like it. I
don't know what to make of that comment. I get why you would like it.
Because you love your prints.
I love colour, I love florals, I love comfort.
But I just thought it's just a bit moo-moo. And she doesn't need to be moo-moo.
Maybe, but I think she looks like she's really happy in it. And
well, who wouldn't be happy in their dressing gown?
Exactly. Good on her. Good on her. We'll just have to agree to disagree. Yeah.
Someone who didn't look super comfortable to me was Vera Wang.
It's not chic, is it?
It's surprisingly unchic for a very chic woman.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's almost like the sunglasses inspired the bustier, which inspired the peplum. Do you know what I mean? You've sort of got that.
No, I'm just not enjoying it. Sorry, Vera.
No, I don't think she looks comfortable in it either.
Yeah.
And now I'm usually a huge Maria Grazia Jury fan of all that she does at Dior, but this Mimi Keen gown didn't look like Maria Grazia. It didn't look very Dior, and it doesn't look very chic to me. That's quite a put down, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, it's. I think I agree actually, but I don't mind Camila Cabello.
Right.
I don't mind it.
Talk to me.
I just think it's not actually that dissimilar to a lot of the ones we were praising earlier from Versace. It's just a little bit more voluminous. I suppose in recent times, you and I, we don't generally like that sort of like that nude effect, but I think it's still tastefully done here.
It's just, to me, there's just one thing too many going on.
I probably would have calmed down around the neckline. It's just definitely, but
bit boudoir for me. And yeah, I just don't think it looks particularly chic, but that is me.
But she's young and she reminds me, I think I can see a bit of nip slip there.
Oh yes, bit of nip slip.
That's unfortunate. But yeah, but I'm still a fan.
That is our little roundup of the BAFTAs.
Ending on a nip slip.
Ending on a nip slip, yes. I'm sure you've got lots of opinions, but generally loving how chic and polished all the girls looked on the red carpet and the boys looked on the red carpet. And congratulations to all those winners, and even the losers, you look fabulous.
Also, just want to say thank you so much. We love receiving your lovely comments. It's been a joy to read them and to watch the channel grow week on week. So please do keep liking and subscribing. It helps us to reach more people and to make more episodes of Friday Night Fashion.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much.
We'll hear all about it next week.
It's going to be very low key, but I'll enjoy it. Yeah, I promise.
I think there's a hangover in the waiting.